Hey guys, we're back with Everlasting Summer 33. We're on the Miku route. Grasshoppers, Slavia's dead, everyone's missing. This is kinda scary. I'm kinda scared. Opening my eyes, I realized that I lay sprawled on the floor. Looks like I've fallen asleep and fell off my chair. It was 9 o'clock. Looks like I was sleeping for 5 hours straight. Everything could have happened. Horrified, I felt myself. Everything seemed to be in its place. That was close. But what about everyone else? I have shaked her squad awake. My turn already? You're too busy sleeping while I was sitting here all night long. Sure, that was a lie, but telling them that I spent the night running for my life from the grasshoppers definitely wasn't an option. I'm sorry. Arthur hung his head down. Don't worry about it. I'm hungry. Master stretched out and gave me a cute smile. Why are you all here? Don't you remember anything? Nope. What's the matter? Everyone's gone, said Alyssa gloomily. Say what? Everyone's gone, vanished into thin air. Masha glanced out the window and said nothing. Seems like she remembered now. Well, getting something to eat is indeed a fine idea. Nobody was going to object. It's not like I was in the mood to eat, just as anyone else, but ultimately, everyone knew that we have to keep ourselves running. Soon we were sitting in the canteen, quietly digging in whatever we found. Want me to cook something? Desu inquired Masha quietly. Let's wait for lunch. For now, it's fine. She gave me a disappointed look. Okay, so what are we gonna do? We have to get out of here. But the police. We have to get out of here. I repeated stubbornly. But how? Bus. It's highly unlikely that it will come. It doesn't run too often. At least there should be a timetable somewhere around. I tried to remember if I've ever seen a bus map or its timetable somewhere. Probably not. Then we'll go on foot. And anyhow, it's better than staying here. But it's a long way to... Well, we might hitch a lift. Here in the middle of nowhere? Doubt that. Stop with the drama. Thinking about it, it's the right time for drama. Not being dramatic, but that's it. End of story. What are you gonna say when we reach the city? We'll tell them. We'll tell them the truth. We came to shoot a movie, and then what movie? Okay, stop fooling around, will you? I buried my face in my hands, feeling run down. Even if it's kind of funny yesterday, although it really wasn't, you could stop with that now. I don't get you. Oh, you're still going on, pretending that you came here not to shoot a movie, but to roleplay a pioneer? I don't understand a thing. Alyssa swept her surprised gaze across everyone. But we are pioneers. What pioneers, for God's sake? Masha, who kept silent so far, butted in. It's XXI. Is that 21st century out there? Yeah, pioneers. What, 21st? Looks like we're indeed a deep mess. So you're going to say that you are, well, we are normal pioneers who just came here for vacation for a week or so? The heavy silence followed. Well, yes. I have cast a look at Masha. Looks like she doesn't know how to react either. I signaled to her, pointing at the door. Excuse us for a second. Having come outside, I've asked, what do you think? That's a car right there! Just take the car! Look, there's a car! There is a car! Get in the car! Drive it away! Well, she adopted the pose of an ancient Greek thinker. Looks like they genuinely believe that. And some folks named Samyan and Miku were in her shoes until yesterday. Well, I guess you're more familiar with them than I am. Oh, come on! I've interrupted her. Could you come up with a more feasible theory? I have absolutely no theories at all. I no longer know what to think. Me too. But anyway, people getting killed, I don't really feel like reading that. I was looking closely at Masha. I'm kinda tired, even though I woke up like 3 hours ago, you know? I wonder how she could keep a cool head under the circumstances. Sure, I also try to keep calm, but that means what? Let's leave this issue for later. But at least a wild guess. I guess it's somehow connected to the disappearance. Yeah, it's reasonable that 1, 2, 3 people couldn't deal with all of this. Agreed. It might be that this phenomenon somehow affected them. Might be. Anyways, it's easier to believe that than, for example, that we're in a parallel reality or something. You know, now I'm willing to believe in anything. And let's stick to this theory for now. Okay, let's go. You go ahead. I'll be back in a minute. It's dangerous to stay all alone. Take this! Seriously, what's so dangerous? Broad daylight? And everyone's around here. Okay. I'm actually a fan of the first Zelda game. Although I still haven't managed to beat it. You know, I always end up getting to like the 4th temple quick and then lose my save somehow. Kinda sucks. gave me a faint smile and headed back to the canteen. So, her behavior is also quite odd. Looks like the last few days changed everything and everyone, including Masha. Yesterday, cloudy, shock, fear, tremor. Today, cold and sensible reasoning. She's even more self-assured than me. Could it just be a good sleep? No, there's something wrong with her too. Sure, she's not thinking that she's a pioneer as everyone else does, but still. If something has happened to them, then maybe it's also happened to me. No, it can't be. Everything seems to be fine. I've double-checked my body and found no abnormalities. Okay, I have to keep calm and control myself. I got up and was already going to return to the canteen, and suddenly I heard a tiny voice from behind my back, as if somebody was calling for me. I got down from the porch and took a few steps towards the voice. Somebody was staring at me from behind the tree. Oh God. Oh, it was Oriana. No, not Oriana, but somebody who looked like her. Froze in my steps. Half of her face was torn down and hanging in shreds. Her grinning jaw trembled nervously as in laughter. Half her bloodshot eye suddenly aimed the pupil at me. I stopped breathing. Felt like I was going to die right now due to the shock. Semyon! The thing that seemed to be Oriana was calling for me. My legs began to give up. I tried hard not to tumble down, tried to scream, tried to run away, but my consciousness has already left the body that now was just a ragdoll moving by my will of the invisible puppet master. One more second and... Hey! I instinctively turned towards the royal ward, cat set of Masha, standing on the porch, then instantly averted my gaze back to Oriana. But she was gone. I just seemingly noticed the deathly pallor on my face. It dripped over to me in the blink of an eye. What? What happened? I've just seen Oriana, there. I pointed my finger towards the tree. Sure, a sight of a massacred Slavic was indeed gruesome. But at least she was dead and not walking in broad daylight with her face torn apart, and she wasn't calling me by name, though it wasn't my own name. What is my name? Last ounces of my strength deserted me, and I collapsed to my knees. What? Where? Asha was shaking me by my shoulders. That wasn't her. That was... I don't know. Brace yourself! That's who? I felt a straight from the shoulder slap on my face and gave Masha a questioning look. My cheek burned, but I slowly started to regain my composure. Oriana was there, with her face. Basically, it was a zombie. Yeah, zombie Oriana. That's the most rational explanation I can give. Masha looked at me dumbfounded. Anything can happen here. If you'd have seen it for yourself. Thank God I haven't. Come on, I'll get you some water. I've described my encounter with that creature in details to everyone. I can tell you just one thing. The science can't explain whatever is going on at that moment. Science, it's an outrageous devilry happening here. The hand of Satan. I wish we'd had a church nearby to light a candle. Then I said nothing, resorting to quiet sobbing. I've almost completely recovered, and now I was able to think straight. Now it's perfectly clear that we have to get out of here. Well, I'm not a real scientist, but alone a paranormalist. But if I recall it correctly, all these demons and spirits are bound to a certain place. Therefore, if we'll get away from this place... Now that's an excellent solution. Asher grins skeptically. I agree. I exclaimed, ignoring her. Yeah. Lena just gave a barely noticeable nod. So it's all set. I've slammed my fist on the table and stretched up. Hold on, it's not like we were figured on this. Oh man! This is my jam! Bah! Why would we hesitate? I seriously wouldn't want a second encounter with a thing like that. Where will we go? Do you even realize how long it will take to reach the city on foot? Do you really think that nobody ever rides the road? A car, a bus, whatever. We'll get something eventually. I want to be so sure. So you think it's better to stay here? Well, I haven't told you that. It's scary here, especially at night, whispered Lena quietly. Still doesn't mean that we have to go anywhere, said Masha loudly. Gave her a narrow look. Though surely something has changed in her. Perhaps I should have a gentle talk with her about it. Or shouldn't I? Any chance that she's also... Okay, let's take a vote. I said in quite a confident tone, yet I still had my doubts. So it's... Yeah, Masha is different. Oh. Oh, I got comments on my videos. Oh, hey, some guy commented a million times. Let's read what he said. He has a Russian name, too. Lena was a mascot long before Hanukkah was painted. You missed the point. Well, actually, Hanukkah was first painted in 2000. When was Lena a mascot? Right, oh. Well, no, Chan? Is that a thing? Hold on, I need to confirm this. Is Lena based off something? Oh. It's called Russian Katawa Soldier not because of the plot, but because of similar process of development. There's no Hanako or Lily in this game, calm down. Yes, there is! This is obviously Hanako. This is obviously Shizune. um, um, I'm not sure what I should say to that. Like, I'm trying to think of a funny joke. A funny joke. On the other hand, I had no idea what waits us beyond the gates of this camp. On the other hand, it's really all hell breaking loose up here. Okay? She shrugged. So I won't stand another minute here. Leaving. Staying. Let's try it. Maybe we will indeed get lucky and encounter a ride. Leaving. Everyone turn their eyes towards Lena. I don't want to stay here. Seemed like my decision wasn't going to affect the outcome anyways. So let's get going. Well, I swing to my feet. Everyone else remains seated with their heads down. Since we decided, Mesh got up slowly and looked at me. What about her stuff? Said Alyssa awkwardly. Do you really think that we should care now? Murmured Elder gloomily. Well, you're probably right. Well, if you ask me, my stuff has already vanished somewhere. A few men were standing at the bus stop. The city is that way. Master gestured at the horizon. It was there a day before yesterday. I grinned. Yeah, that way. Elder confirmed. We paused in silence for a few moments and slowly headed towards our destination. Yeah, on the... Wait, I was thinking out of tune, because copyright them. On the road again. I'm trying to think of a way not to sound stupid, but still sing it out of tone, you know? Because I don't... I can't tell the difference between tones, really. Summer sun was unbearably scorching, making the asphalt melt. Everything a few hundred feet away. The road, the trees, the grass, the sky was literally melting in the bright heat haze that looked more like a burning fog. I was streaming with sweat and was beginning to think that I've got a sunstroke. Sure, it would have been a great idea to bring more water with us, but during the time we were on our way, the only thing we could think of was getting as far away as possible from the camp. At some point, I began to feel that I was losing consciousness. Only the wretched trails of the grasshopper kept bridging me with reality. Of course! This noon is indeed their favorite part of the day. They can't care less about the scorching heat, zero humidity, or the lack of air movement of any kind. On the contrary, they felt great! This was the perfect backdrop for the final act of their last apocalyptic symphony. Probably, we should have stayed in camp after all. Or at least we should have started the sex later, closer to the evening. Although, wandering the unknown country road at night is hardly a viable opinion, too. Wait, option or... Yeah, option, not opinion. There was a sound of a stifled cry coming from behind me. A few hundred feet away, Alyssa was barely holding Lena, keeping her collapsed to the ground. I dashed up to them. What's the matter? She's fainted. I helped to carry Lena to the roadside. There's at least a shadow from a small grove. That concludes our hike, said Mash in a gloomy mood, sinking down the grass. I warned you. Fine, but what does the change now? We went at least a couple hours. Thinking of coming back to the camp was pointless. Well, at least until the evening, when the heat will decline a bit. But still, we haven't seen a single car. I turned around and looked at Elder. He pulled off his shirt and began to wring the sweat out of it. Alyssa was trying to revive Lena. That's a sunstroke. Stop! She shouted at me. If that's indeed a sunstroke, we got ourselves a deep mess. She won't make it anywhere. I walked towards... Is it like a sunstroke, a heat stroke, or are those different things? Or the same. I'm not for sure. Walked towards the road, shielding my eyes from the sun with my hand and stared into the distance. All the same asphalt that leading beyond the horizon with no sense of civilization or any sense of human presence at all. We're not going to turn around into the camp like 10 feet away, are we? It was like we were the only people left, not only in this camp, but in the whole world. Though if you think about it, what's happened before, it's really not a big surprise. Got back to the others and sat down another walk. There's not going to be a jump scare, is there? I just considered that. I get scared easily, and a jump scare, I might shout loudly. I don't... Because, I mean, if it's a jump scare, it'd happen like right after a piece of text, and I'd most likely be talking then. So, like, I don't really scream when I'm scared, but if I'm in the middle of talking and there's a jump scare, I'm gonna scream. I guess we have to scout ahead. I looked at Elder. Check the status. Maybe we could find something. You just stay here for a while, but she can't go anywhere right now anyways. Lena was lying with her eyes closed and gasped for air. Okay, go ahead, said Master calmly. It just sprang to my mind that I planned to have a talk with her. But it's definitely not the time for that now. I wonder what happens if you go alone, like, before you finish her out. Like, you know, because we got the Miku route because we've already finished her out. So, would this still happen, or... Now it's definitely not the time for that. Let's go. Ryder shrugged his shoulders and followed me. We kept walking for about 15 minutes already. The girls were left far behind. How do you think? Any chance of meeting somebody? That's quietly. Don't know. I replied in an annoying tone. I really wanted to refrain from talking now. Endless fields outstretched to the horizon. Wait a second. This is the same place. The same background. Endless fields outstretched to the horizon, scarcely sprinkled with patches of woods and hills. The landscape looked so typical and tranquil that, in fact, it caused anxiety. If we found ourselves on the plains of hell, at least it would be more expected to be attacked from just anywhere, so we would brace ourselves, getting ready for the worst. But now we've just felt the little droplets of paint at the canvas of a nameless painter who draws the summer in the central of Russia. Or wherever we were now. All this only made our fear stronger. Look! Yelled Ryder. I narrowed my eyes and saw the road makes a turn. So? What's so special? There must be something there. What makes you think that? Well, since there's a turn, we were walking straight forward all this time. Okay, let's go take a look. Come on! In a few minutes we finally came to the gates of the Sovanak Pioneer Camp. I've clamped down on the curb and buried my face in my hands. I didn't feel scared. In fact, there are no emotions at all. Just the fatigue and the void inside me. But how? Mumbled Ryder. No idea. Besides, what's the difference anyway? It's not like this is any stranger than anything that's happened to me during the last 3 days. I looked up at him, feeling exhausted. Ryder's lips were trembling. The expression of deathly horror was plastered on his face. Let's go back and fetch the girls. I didn't wait for him, just shuffled off back to where he left him. Found anything? Asked Masha, chewing on some strawberries of uncertain origin. We did. A camp. What camp? Desu. She looked surprised. Howard camp. What? Masha looked so silly now, so I couldn't help flashing an ironic smile. But you were going forwards, not backwards. Forward. And Sylvanak is there. Hey, stop choking, she exclaimed. I'm dead serious. But, said Alyssa quietly, where's Lena? She was sitting down on the grass and held the head of Lena, who was still sleeping. Oh, have they been carrying her the entire time? Yeah, just like that, I said tiredly, and got down onto the ground. Okay, it means we're heading there. I looked at Masha attentively and suddenly realized that I can't wait anymore. Hey, what's happening with you? What do you mean? Her look totally implied that it's not the time for breezy chatter. You were scared to death yesterday, and today you have this happens to be all the time attitude. So what's the point to panic? She cracked a barely visible smile. If I wanted to know you, I would like quiet, bit my lip and turned away. But really, do I know her that well? Sure, we've spent many years together, but if you'll get down to it, I always thought more about myself. Or rather, I've always believed that she's completely satisfied. She was always the same for me. The same as just about anything. Even when we were breaking up. As if she wasn't a real person, but just my favorite article of clothing. Thinking back about it, I have no idea what's going on in her soul. I've never cared about it. Thus, her behaving like this under the circumstances doesn't look more bizarre than anything else that's happened to us. And if you think about that talk at the beach yesterday evening, probably because she really is stronger than me. Hey, are you listening to me at all? Or sorry, I got carried away. So much has happened. She looked at me sternly. Okay, let's get to the camp then. Or wherever you were, if that's the same old camp. Alright. In fact, it's not like we have any other choice. A few hours in the scorching heat would yield us only more casualties. Boy, you have to carry her along. Okay, just a sec. Let me figure it out. I found 2 fairly long sturdy sticks in the nearby grove. Coming back, I've ordered Ryder to get his shirt off. He tried to object, but soon enough he realized that there's no use to argue. Took off my shirt and we made a sort of stretcher, attaching to the fabrics to the poles. Will it hold? Masha gave our device a questioning look, but ultimately we grabbed a few strong poles, ensuring its strength, and smiled. It will. I listened until we reached the camp. It's hard to go on the seat, but even But it was even harder to carry this injured, that is, Lena. Several times I almost fainted and barely caught up halfway down to the end. Archer felt even worse. Both Masher and Alyssa were swapping places with him every now and then. Still, my pride won't allow me to ask them to carry Lena even for a minute. Sure, it's silly to act like this under these circumstances, but I could not help myself. This is yet another feat of my personality, along with the coldness and attention to others, even the loved ones, and less than other honorable traits. Finally, we somehow made it to the camp gates. I've collapsed to the grass in the shadow of an unknown pioneer statue, completely worn out. I think I'll call it there. I think I've been going long enough. Man, what's happening? I'm kind of scared, honestly. What's going to be in these gates? I don't know. But tune in next time, folks, and you'll find out. Gotcha!